I have the pleasure of welcoming Dr. Kiren Koshy. Well, mentioning about Dr. Kiren here, wonderful results to be mentioned. Rank 1 in Jipmer, November 2015. Rank 8, AIMS, November 2015 PGME exam. Wonderful performance. Congrats to you, Dr. Kiren Koshy, on these ranks. Just share with us, how are you feeling?
Thank you, sir. Obviously, I am feeling very happy and more than happy, relieved in the result, because it was a very unexpected result for me. Also, I feel quite happy that I was able to match up to my own expectations and also secure a seat at one of the best institutes in the country.
Well, definitely yes. You secured a rank 1 in Jipmer and rank 8 in AIMS exam. These are the figures anybody would dream of, and I am with Dr. Kiren who has achieved these figures himself. One important thing that our listeners would like to know, that how did you prepare for your exams?
Well, I started preparation sometime in my third year, and initially, of course, it was slow, but then I tried to pick up speed in final year, and of course, I focused a lot on revision in the last 1 year of internship. So I feel that more than extensive study, revising what you study is more important.
Well, that's very aptly answered, I would say. As I was just talking to Dr. Kiren before this interview, he did mention that he was doing his internship while he was preparing for the PGME entrance exam. How did you manage your time? That is something, anybody who is aspiring for a postgraduate medical entrance exam would like to know, especially those who are doing their internship. They would like to know the mix of your success.
Actually, I wasn't too good at managing my time, I think. But I always used to make a timetable. Usually, I was unable to keep up with the timetable. But always you should have a timetable so that you are aware of the fact that you are not keeping up. So you can always improve. And if you don't have a timetable, you are quite prone to get lost without any sense of focus. Also, I tried to attend whatever classes I could attend, and even when I was unable to attend because of my schedule, I would read the topics from the study material provided.
Well, that's great. Let me ask you some more elaborate answer on this. Let's divide the year from January till October when the exams are held, or November for that reference. Can you just tell us a little more that how did you divide the year in your preparation?
Like in this time, I would be having postings in various subjects in my internship, and during many of the major postings like say community medicine, I would focus on spending about half my time reading for that subject, while at the same time not neglecting other subjects, so that I would spend the remaining half of the time reading other subjects. And whenever I had maybe 4 hours to study, I would spend 1 hour on revision.
Oh, that's great. I mean, these are valuable inputs. If you'd like to add something to that?
As the months went by, I would reduce the time spent on new studies and increase the time on revision.
Oh, that's
Till towards the last 2 weeks or something, I would learn almost nothing new.
Well, I think that's really informative for all the listeners here. And you see, one very important confusion that prevails in the mind of any aspirant who is preparing for postgraduate medical entrance exam, that whether to go for a selective kind of study or whether to go for an extensive kind of study, more comprehensive reading of textbooks, and then consolidating later on with questions and all. What was your method of preparation? Was it more extensive or it was selective?
Any extensive study that you make should be in your 5 years of MBBS and not following that, because there's no time for it in the year or two after MBBS, like during internship or even in the 1 year post internship. So during my MBBS days, I used to study quite extensively, but after internship started, I focused more on intensive study.
Right. So what I can gather from your input is it is a mix of both extensive as well as selective.
Yes.
And revision is the key to the success.
Exactly.
Well, that's very nice to know. And let me ask you a very straight question here, Dr. Kiren. How important was DAMS in your preparation?
DAMS was quite important in my preparation. Actually, I was first associated with dams by joining for grand test series, and I would say that this was probably one of the most important factors in my success, because without a regular check on how much you are studying, you tend to lose focus. So initially, I did quite badly in the tests, but that enabled me to learn more. So you should never avoid doing tests for fear that you do badly, because it's only through mistakes that you can learn. Also later on I had joined in the classes, though I did not attend all classes. Whatever classes I attended were useful to me, and for the others, because I knew that I was missing a particular class, at least I would study that at home.
Alright, so where did you join the DAMS classes?
I joined DAMS for the satellite batch in Trivandrum.
Trivandrum. Okay, that's very nice to know. And as we all know, Dr. Kiren, that DAMS is quite active on the online medium like the Facebook. We have our exclusive Facebook club. How is your experience about it?
The exclusive Facebook club is quite good, according to all the input I have obtained from my friends. And I personally followed the AIMS discussion following the exam, and I think quite good authentic answers were given there. Also, students are having a good method to clarify their doubts from the teachers, and also a lot of important one-liners are given there.
So it's a good platform to clear your doubts.
Yes.
And I have been talking to toppers, sitting on that chair, and I asked them, is it true that the faculty is quite prompt in answering your questions on the Facebook club?
Yeah, they are quite prompt, and I think I would say that some are quite incredibly prompt, and you wonder whether they go around with their mobile or computer all the time.
Well, that's the beauty of it, because we always tell our students that you're always in safe hands if you have joined DAMS. We try to keep up to that to their expectations by being available to them as and when required. A lot of things are seen on the Facebook as well as on other media that there are other institutes mentioning about that you being their student. Is that true?
Well, I have studied in IMA classes in Trivandrum, and that was quite useful to me. However, I would say that they have not put any advertisement. It's some other institute which has, and I am not associated with that institute in any way.
So you are exclusively Damsonian.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. That would clear a lot of confusion in the minds of people who have been, misled by such kind of propagation. Another thing let's talk about is the DVT session that we conduct in Delhi. As my listeners are aware, that we conduct a 3-day DVT session in Talkatore Stadium, New Delhi. Did you attend the satellite version of same?
Yes, I had attended the satellite version.
How was the experience?
It was a very good experience, and I think we came across a lot of images, and I personally did not go through any other source for image-based study. And in addition to the images, we also had a lot of discussion, and that helped us to answer some of the theory-based questions as well. Because it was towards the end of the course, it was also a good venue for revision of the various subjects.
That's very nice to know. Let me remind my listeners here, I'm talking to Dr. Kiren Koshy, rank 1 in Jipmer 2015 exam, and rank 8 AIMS November 2015 postgraduate medical entrance exam. Now, taking the discussion to the next level, we all know that DAMS conducts CBTs. How was your experience? Did you attend any of that?
I was not able to attend the CBT as such, but I had written the semi-final test in June. The CBT I was not able to attend because of my schedule, but I had followed the question later on by downloading it.
Okay. So how did you find it? How was the experience?
The questions were quite well balanced, and I think that they give a good idea of how well you are prepared at that point of time, so that you can make the necessary corrections.
Yes, and let me tell here, in addition to the information, that we try to stick to the same pattern of evaluation as in the actual exam, so that the student gets the correct picture where he or she stands at a particular time. So that's very nice to know. A straight word from you, Dr. Kiren George, on the DAMS publications. As we all know, we have our CRS, the Comprehensive Review Series, and then we have our Last Look series. Recently, we came up with Harrison's Notebook. What is your opinion on these publications?
The Comprehensive Review Series is, as the name indicates, both comprehensive and it is a review. So it helps us to cover a lot of subject matter in a short period of time. And also the questions towards the end are quite relevant and in tune with the latest method of questioning. Also the last look series was good, and I think the time at which it was given was very appropriate, so that it was really the time for a last look. And also the Harrison review is also good, especially for those who are familiar with Harrison but have not been able to read it in detail.
Well, you don't need to be sorry for that, because you have secured a rank 1 in Jipmer and rank in 8 in AIMS November 2015 postgraduate entrance exam. That's very honest and very candid opinion that you have shared with us. We thank you for that. And I also take this opportunity to tell my listeners here that all our books, all our publications are based on standard textbooks. So you can definitely rely on them. I think you would also agree to that. All the facts mentioned in our publications are in consistence with the textbooks.
Yes, I have never had to feel that there was any obvious mistake in any of the books.
Well, that's nice. And as we all know that in DAMS we have a particular evaluation system. Now by evaluation system, I refer to the tests that we conduct, the subject-wise tests and the class tests that we conduct, and the grand test, the monthly grand test that we conduct, and the revision test after the entire regime is over. What is your opinion? What is your call on the evaluation system that is followed in DAMS?
The evaluation system is quite detailed, and I think it's especially good that you have a grand test every month, so that even while you are preparing in a subject-wise manner, you are able to assess your overall preparation and also to keep up with the general reading at the same time. Also, the subject-wise tests were very useful, especially pharmacology, anatomy, biochemistry, which are probably subjects which we tend to learn in first year and forget in the fourth year. So I would say that all were very useful, and towards the end I think the computer based test was useful, and also it's important to keep up the solutions, and even if you don't get the time for the solutions, just read the questions which you had got wrong in the exam.
Right, so correcting yourself for the wrong questions that you have attempted would definitely enhance your chances. Yeah, that's great. Let me ask you here, which faculty influenced you most? But before I get the answer, let me remind my listeners here, I'm talking to Dr. Kiren Koshy, rank 1 in Jipmer 2015 exam and rank 8 AIMS November 2015 postgraduate medical entrance exam. So coming back to my question, which faculty influenced you most in DAMS?
Well, obviously Sumar sir is a very inspirational figure, and also I was quite impressed by Deepthi ma'am's classes, because I think for Gynec, from the topics which I had attended, I did not need to attend any more, read any other material, because the notes were so comprehensive.
Okay.
Also the pharmacology classes were quite good, and I wouldn't say that any of the classes were actually below par. Almost all were above par as far as I was concerned.
Thank you very much for the information here. Let me ask you, which branch you wish to opt?
I wish to go for general medicine.
General medicine, that's very nice, and definitely I would say the country is going to get a brilliant doctor in the times to come. Before we wind up this conversation, any message to your juniors?
I would advise my juniors to focus on their studies and to focus on the quality of study rather than the quantity, with a special eye on the time spent, and also giving a lot of importance to revision, because remember that the race goes not to the swift, but to he who wins is he who believes he can. So it's important to realize that the medical PG entrances are not won by anyone who's more intelligent or has learned more in his UG days, but it is he who consolidates what he has learned and believes in himself who will win.
That's beautifully said. I'm really spellbound by the answer. But would you suggest your juniors to join DAMS?
Yes, I think that if you have a DAMS center in your town, it would be definitely a good idea to join in DAMS.
Thank you very much. But one question still that comes into my mind, that should an aspirant be afraid of taking up a preparation for tough exam like postgraduate medical entrance during the internship? Do you say should they wait to internship to get over, or is it possible to do it with your internship?
Anyway, it's better to try during your internship, because obviously if you don't, the next attempt will be your very first attempt. So anyway, it is best to give your best shot during the internship days, and even if you do not get, you will have the satisfaction of knowing that you tried your best.
Then I
And
think you would say that it's not impossible.
oh no, it's definitely not impossible.
Fine, thank you very much. And let's remind my listeners once again, it is a pleasure talking to Dr. Kiren Koshy here. Rank 1, Jipmer, 2015 exam, rank 8, AIMS November 2015 postgraduate medical entrance exam. It was wonderful talking to you. An exclusive Damsonian who is only associated with Delhi Academy of Medical Sciences here with us. Congratulations, Dr. Kiren Koshy, on a wonderful performance. It was nice talking to you. We wish you all the best in your life.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.